Bonjour, my name is David DeVere. I'm a wine educator and traveler, and you're watching Savvy Nomad TV, the eau de vie edition. This is episode number 2 of our travel journal discussion. This one's titled My Hobonichi Habit. And for the last 6 years, I have been filling out these odd Japanese journals. I want to show you what I like about them, why I use them, and what I'm going to do for 2023 because I'm changing it up. Oh, it's hard to change a habit, but it's fun to think about new things coming from a new good habit. Okay, let me show you my Hobonichi habit. Okay, so as we discussed, or as I detailed in the previous video on travel journals, you can see a flyout maybe over here. Flyout card to watch that if you're coming to this second or first. It's number 2. Anyway, as we discussed, I came to the realization that you don't need to log really anything more than the average everyday in a journal. And that habit of logging in a journal really creates kind of a nice thing. Now you can take something like a Hobonichi cousin, which is what this is. This is the first one that I chose because I got it in the middle of the year, and it's only six months long. So I bought it and it already was sort of out of date. And I used this as a travel scrapbooking journal. So I pasted things in here. I wrote things in. Here's the train that I took from Paris to Joigny and how far we traveled that day on the canal. And I started logging some of these things kind of as a remembrance for me and as kind of notes so I could go back and look and see what had possibly happened. But I found that at the end of the Hobonichi, these pages were too big for me to fill out on my regular life. My life was just not interesting. So something had to give. I didn't have good scrapbooking stuff like that during my regular life to fill up the page. So this was too big, which brought me to this, which is a regular Hobonichi, and it is a year-long diary. I'm sure you've probably seen these if you're watching this video. If you're finding that a Hobonichi is brand new to you, then you're not. There's lots of people that talk about this. And so this I started using as a daily diary. I travel a lot. I also traveled and talked about my travel in here, but I don't log or keep the scraps because this amount of page is not big enough to put scrapbooking stuff in. You see, the book, this is A4, this is A5. A5 is just the size of A4 times 2. So this is one page for each day, and this is 1 page for this day. So I had less space, but I actually like that because I don't travel all the time. And on mundane days, I can just write mundane things. So, for example, let's just flip to a day here. I'm not too worried that there's going to be something terrible in here that I'm going to reveal to you. Duluth, that's where I live, 62 degrees. It's rainy, humid, and calm. I had coffee outside. It's Thursday, June 24th, 2021. Ground delay in Chicago led to a 1.5 hour delay for Noah, Laurel, and Jacob. This is when they came last year. I remember that exactly now. Picked up at noon, then to Inger Tower for a picnic, followed by a climb up the tower and home for a cool down, and mint juleps, and teriyaki pork chops. You know, I mean, look, this is mundane stuff, but now when I read that, I remember exactly everything about that day. It's great. Also, these Hobonichis have year spreads in them. So here's 21, here's 22, here's quarters of the year. I just write one thing that happened that day. I write where I am, if I'm traveling, what state I'm in, what country I'm in. Obviously, this is 2021. I'm not traveling yet. Now here I'm going to France and back, where I am. And then you've got this calendar view. Love this too. You can write something. There's the whole month, February, March, April, May, etc., etc. And then the daily spreads. So I've been doing these for 6 years. Here's 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And I carry it all in this. This I bought from Jet Pens, which is where I buy all my stationery supplies. I'm not sponsored by them. I just like them. I think they do a great job of bringing the world, American world, all these wonderful Japanese stationery supplies. If you need a Hobonichi or some kind of cool paper, Jet Pens is the place to go. So, bought this leather cover. This is the Arts and Sciences Hobonichi cover. It's designed for this A4 size Hobonichi. Here's the 2022 edition, and I am filling it out. I've got a fountain pen over here, and I've got this little bottle of essential oils. And in here, whoops, don't have one. I usually have a spare ink cartridge, because when you travel with a fountain pen, you don't want to leave your fountain pen with ink in it, because it will leak when it goes up and down in the airplane. So there's my Hobonichi that I've been using for this year. I love this style, and I've created a nice habit with this. Been very happy with that cover. But one thing that I find annoying, here are all these memories that I've created. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of memories. And I don't really ever look at these. They sit on my desk. I can see them spine out, but I really don't ever index them or look at them or think about them. They just sit there. Wouldn't it be fun if you could look at all the memories together? Well, that's what Hobonichi thought too. So they made a Hobonichi 5-year diary. Oh boy, you can see where I'm going with this. Well, this is it. This is the 2023 to 2027 5-year diary by Hobonichi. I turned 50 in 2023, so this will be the first half of that decade. And let me show you what this looks like. You get some stuff. You get a sample sheet of the new, I believe this is the new paper they're going to use. And then here is the new 5-year diary. Nice box, nice presentation. You open it up. This is in Japanese. There's no English in here, but the idea is this is the 8th month, 7th day. I hope that's how it's supposed to be. Yep. And then you've got this for 2023, 24, 25, 26, and 27. Now I know what you're thinking. This is too much to write everything that happened in that day. Well, I'm going to expand it across and just write across the column like this. So the intent is after year 1, then year 2 I can see what I did on year 1, year 3 I can see, and you can look back and you can enjoy the time that has passed. That's the intent. Now this is A5, which is going to be bigger than my A4. You see it's the size of this totally opened up, and obviously this isn't going to fit. So I've got a new cover for this, but I don't know if it's actually going to fit. I'm going to do an unboxing of that in 2 more videos. First, no good review about journaling or travel journaling would be true until you talk about what I write with, fountain pens, because it really does make a difference. Writing in a fountain pen is a lovely experience, but the pen does matter. So, next video, fountain pens. Fountain pens 101, or fountain pens according to me, according to Dave. And I'll show you the few fountain pens I have. what I know about fountain pens and what I've discovered over the years. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.